Hello friends, today we will study about language skills. First of all, we should know what is language. Language is one of the unique possessions of human beings. It is through language that we learn to think, feel, judge and express. It is the only means of communication of thoughts and ideas either in speech or writing. The word language has been derived from the Latin word lingua, which implies tongue. Language is the gift of God. Language consists of letters, alphabets, words, idioms, and syntax, as here shown in figure 1. Allen says language is a means of communicating thoughts. In the words of Jesperson, language is a set of human habits, the purpose of which is to give expression to thoughts and feelings. According to Brown, language is the most sophisticated and versatile means available to human beings for the communication of meaning. In the words of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, English is our major window on the modern world. When we learn a language, there are four skills that we need for complete communication. We usually learn to listen first, then to speak, then to read, and finally to write. All languages, including English, are skill based. In this sense, teaching learning of a language differs from subjects such as history, science, which are knowledge-based subjects. There are four basic language skills which every learner must master. These are LSRW. Remember, LSRW. L stands for listening, S stands for speaking, R stands for reading, and W stands for writing. No skill should be neglected. It is also to be kept in mind that language is basically speech, and therefore much attention is to be devoted to speech practice. As this is shown in figure 2, we have four basic language skills: listening, reading, speaking, and writing. And listening and reading are passive skills. They are also called receptive skills, as the learners receive or acquire the language from listening and reading. Whereas speaking and writing are active skills. Remember, speaking and writing are active skills. They are also called productive skills, as shown in figure 3. Productive and receptive skills, as we have seen here in this figure 3. Language skills can also be grouped into oral skills and graphic motor skills. Listening and speaking, which demand the exercise of the auditory and speech, are called oral skills, while reading and writing involve the visual and psychomotor organs and are called graphic motor skills. As we have seen here in figure 4 shows oral and graphic motor skills. Figure 4 shows oral and graphic motor skills. Effective communication, which is the ultimate aim of language, implies proficiency and ability to use various combinations depending on the nature of interaction. Following are the major objectives of language skills: to make the learners competent and fluent in using language, to make the learners more confident, to increase the learners or pupils' understanding, to develop the personality of the learner or the pupil, to enable to learners to express their ideas more effectively and appropriately, to communicate effectively with others, and the last is to make learners efficient in using all the skills. Functions of language. Language plays an important role in human life. The hard fact is that human life has been made better by the use of a language. Language is a means of expression. It helps in the process of communication. Language plays some important functions which are explained as follows here in this figure 5. Informative function, expressive function, directive function, referential function, emotive function, conative function, poetic function, metalingual function, poetic function, cultural function, instrumental function, regulatory function, interactional function, personal function, informational function, imaginative function, heuristic function. Informative function. The communication of information is the informative function. This function is used to describe the word or reason about it. Example, whether a state of affairs is true or false. Expressive function. Language is a means of expression and communication. It helps us to express our feelings, emotions, ideas, and it is helpful to evoke similar feelings among the readers and the audience. Poetry is one of the best examples, but much of perhaps most of ordinary language discourse is the expression of emotions, feelings, or attitudes. Two main aspects are generally noted: to evoke certain feelings and to express feelings. Directive function. Language helps to perform an activity. It gives direction to one's behavior. Example, asking the students to write on the blackboard. Language used for the purpose of causing overt actions. The directive function is most commonly found in commands and requests. Directive language is not normally considered true or false. Examples, close the window. Referential function. It is also known as cognitive function. The speaker expresses what he feels and the meaning is derived on the basis of the context, as in conversation. This is the most obvious function of language when you use words to indicate things or facts. Emotive function. Language is used to express one's emotions. These emotions may be real or imaginative, as in poem. This is when you don't speak to convey information but to express your feelings. Then you communicate for yourself more than for the people who may or may not hear you. Conative function. You try to make other people do something. This includes orders and prayers. Poetic function. This later known function of language consists in saying something only to maintain the contact with the person you are speaking. Metalingual function. When the listener does not understand the code, he asks the speaker to explain it. The first language that was not understood is known as object language, and the language that was used to explain it is called meta language. Poetic function. When the speaker focuses on the message for its own sake, this function encompasses more than poetry. For example, euphony is an application of this function. Cultural function. Language is a part of culture. It is inseparable from it. The content of every culture is expressible in its language. Next is instrumental function. It enables an individual to satisfy his needs by asking for something. Example, may I have a cup of tea? Regulatory function. Language performs a regulatory function by controlling others' behavior. Example, open your book, please. Next is interactional function. Language is used for communicating interpersonal relations. Personal function. Language enables an individual to talk about himself. Example, I am not feeling well today. Informational function. Language is used to give various types of information. Next is imaginative function. It performs as imaginative function where one talks about one's imagination. Heuristic function. Language is used to find out about the world in general. Thank you.